Alright. Hello everyone, it is Harley from the Fran Play and welcome back to learning full stack web development, learning about Flexbox from the Odin project. I want to say first off, thank you guys again, those that keep tuning in. I appreciate you greatly and showing the support in my journey to becoming a full stack web developer. So in the last lesson that we did, we learned about the flex properties and values. So that was really cool. Oh, hold on. Okay. And we learned what Flex Auto is and how we're just mainly going to be using Flex 1, which, let's go ahead and write it down here real fast. Let's do. Oh, can't even do that? Okay. And Flex, excuse me, would equal Flex 110%. Okay, so we learned, actually let's go ahead and reread this just to kind of reiterate. We took a little break, used the restroom, got a little mental break going, and we're going to continue on. I've been really enjoying learning all of this. It's actually really cool. We don't need that right now. So we know that we're going to need to add onto our next project, we're going to be needing to use Flexbox and using it in a main container. So we're going to have multiple containers and see if we can have oh, that's right, we were learning about direction, right? Okay, anyway, let's go ahead and do this, add another line, and this is going to be called axis. And we learned a new word, right? Plural for axis. We can go vertical or horizontal, and we have to call it within our CSS using flex direction, column, or row, right? Oh no. Let's just add some more space. Okay. Okay, using flex direction column, we'll make the direction of the flex container go vertical, and using flex direction row, we'll make the direction of the flex container go horizontal, right? Okay. The default direction of flex container is horizontal in a row. So mainly we'll just have to call it out. Excuse me. Alright. So axis. No matter which direction you're using, you need to think of your flex containers as having two axes. The main axis and the cross axis. It is the direction of these axes that changes when the flex direction is changed. In most circumstances, flex direction row puts the main axis horizontal left to right, and column puts the main axis top to bottom. In other words, in our very first example, we put display flex on a div and it arranged the children horizontally. This is a demonstration of flex direction row, the default setting. The following example is very similar. If you uncomment the line that says flex direction column, these divs will stack vertically. So, and actually, let's go ahead and open this on CodePen so we can mess with it, right? So in our CSS, we're going to give it the flex direction of column, and boom, there we go, and they all run vertically. One thing to note is that in this example, flex direction column would not work as expected if we use the shorthand flex1. Try it out now. Change the flex value on the flex11 auto line. Can you figure out why it does not work if flex1 is used? The divs collapse even though they clearly have a height defined there. Okay, so we have the height of pixel, and instead of flex, just use flex of 1. Okay. Oh, whoops. Didn't want to do that. Okay. So when we do that, it actually collapses all of them. Now, why is that? The divs collapse even though they clearly have a height defined. The reason for this is that the flex shorthand expands flex basis to 0. That's right, flex 1 would make it equal 1, 1, 0, which means that all flex growing and flex shrinking would begin the calculations from 0. Empty divs by default have 0 height, so for our flex item to fill up the height of the container, they don't actually need to have any height at all. The example above fixes by specifying flex11 auto, telling the flex items to default to their given height. We would also have fixed it by putting a height in the parent flex container by using flex grow 1 instead of the shorthand. How's it getting hot? Okay, another detail to notice. So okay, let's go back. Let's look at that. What happens if we just change it to auto? Then what? Okay, so it fills. And auto would be 1, 1 auto. 1, 0 auto. What does that do? Okay, so this is oh, okay, this wouldn't shrink at all. It would just grow. So if we did that, it would still shrink. So what if we change that to 30%? Oh, nope, still doesn't work. So it doesn't matter what we do, even if it's at 100%, right? Will that change anything? No, it won't. 100. Oh, okay, why didn't... Okay, so we can't use percentages, right? What about 80? We gave it a value. No? Okay. Sorry, I'm just seeing what exactly it will do, right? Oh, whoops. Okay, the reason for this is the flex shorthand flex basis to 0, which means that the flex growing and flex shrinking would begin their calculations from 0. Empty divs by default have a height of 0, so for our flex items to fill up the height of the container, they don't actually need to have any height at all. The example above fixes this by specifying flex11 auto, telling the flex items to default to their given height. And their given height was 80 pixels. And what if we gave it Oh, and they said another way to fix that. So instead of, okay, let's keep that at 80, right? But let's go ahead and comment this out. And let's add it into our parent container and add a height of, oh sorry, height of 80 pixels, right? And what if we change this to 0? Does that change anything? It doesn't. Why is that? Because it said here, empty divs by default, fill the container. Example specifying default. We could also have fixed it by putting a height in the parent flex container by adding or by using FlexGrow1 instead of the shorthand. Another detail to notice when we change the flex direction to column, flex basis refers to height instead of width. Let's go fix that real fast. It's just okay. Oh yeah, flex direction. Okay, now we can have it like that. Okay. This is example above. Another detail to notice when changed to column, flex base refers to height instead of width. Given the context, this may be obvious, but it's something to be aware of. Okay. Obvious because columns are top to bottom, not side to side, which width would be side to side, height is top to bottom, right? Given the context, this may be, okay. We strayed from the point slightly. We were talking about flex direction and axis. To bring it back home, the default behavior is flex direction row, which arranges things horizontally. The reason this often works well without changing other details in the CSS is because the block level elements default to the full width of their parent. Changing things to vertical using flex direction column adds complexity because the block level elements default to the height of their content. And in this case, there is no content. So, changing things to vertical using adds complexity because block level elements default to the height of their content. So whatever the height is inside of the container, or the content within the container. There are situations where the behavior of flex direction could change if you are using a language that is written top to bottom or right to left. But you should save worrying about that until you're ready to start making a website in Arabic or Hebrew. Now let's check. This section contains questions for you to check your understanding of this lesson on your own. If you're having trouble answering a question, click on it. Oh, okay, I already know that. How do you make flex items arrange themselves vertically instead of horizontally? Give them a flex direction of column. Right? In a column flex container, what does flex basis refer to? Flex basis refers to the height. Yep, instead of the width. Okay. In a row flex container, what does flex basis refer to? Its width. Why do the previous two questions have different answers? Because row is left to right, column is top to bottom. At least when I think of row, I think of sides to sides, and when I think of sides, I think of a rectangle, and then I think of each side, not the top and the bottom. Each side, and each side creates a width, or is a meaning for the width. Okay, so far everything we've touched with Flexbox has used the rule flex1 on all flex items, which makes the items grow or shrink equally to fill all the available space. Very often, however, this is not the desired effect. Flex is also very useful for arranging items that have a specific size. So let's go ahead and add a new line. Right, and alignment. And in this lesson we're going to learn how to align items inside a Flex container, both vertically and horizontally. Okay. You'll learn how to align items inside a Flex container both vertically and horizontally. Let's look at another example. Okay, so we have a div that has a class of container and 3 items within it. And let's actually open it here. Right? Sorry, Tina. Okay. Alright, and inside the container class we have a height of 140 pixels, padding of 16 pixels, background of plum, border 4 pixels, and a display of flex. Right? So all items are going to display in a row, because that is its default value. Right? And then the item, the class item has a width of 60, height of 60, border of 4, and a background of sky blue. You should be able to predict what happens if you put flex 1 on the item by now. Give it a shot before we move on. So flex 1 is going to make it shrink and grow and have a flex basis of so it makes it fit. You should be able to predict what happens. Okay, so it makes it fit, right? It grows to fit what's inside of the container. Adding flex 1 to item makes each of the items grow to fill the available space. But what if we wanted them to stay the same width, but distribute themselves differently inside of the container? We can do this. Ooh. Okay. Remove the flex 1 from the item and add justify content space between to dot container. Doing so would give you something like this. So remove the flex 1, right? And we're going to give this a okay, justify content space between, and there we go. So now it evenly distributed it, right? And we can shrink it to fit. Pretty cool. Justify content aligns items across the main axis. There are a few values that you can use here. Okay. We can add justify content space between to the parent container to make the items evenly space themselves out. We could do this to keep the items the size we have assigned. Assigned to them. Instead of how flex 1 will grow the items to fit within the container. Okay, so here we go. Justify content analyze items across the main axis. There are a few values that you can use here. You'll learn the rest of them in the reading assignments, but for now, try changing it to center. And that's what we did, right? Oh. Justify content. Center. Boom. And that's within the parent, which is center the boxes along the main axis. To change the placement of the items along the axis, use align items. Try getting the boxes. Oh, okay. To change the placement of items along the cross axis, up and down, use the align items. Try getting the boxes to the center of the container by adding align item center to the dot container. Oh my god. If you want to try it, wait, what? Try what anytime? Sorry, I didn't get to see your first message. If you want to try it. Did you put something else? Oh. Okay, so we'll do align items, right? That's what it said? Yeah. Align items center. Oh. Okay, hold on, let's mark this out. Oh, okay. If you have, well, I guess, send it to me on Twitter if you have Twitter. I'll check it out. Oh, whoops. Okay. Okay, so that brought it down vertically. Oh, Flexbox Froggy. Okay. Before going through this lesson, I tried it, and it really helped me out understanding better. Oh, I keep trying to save. Understanding better everything in this lesson. Ooh. Okay, well then I will probably go through Flexbox Froggy. Okay. Well, I will actually probably try this here in just a little bit. Dang it! As soon as I started again, I took notes just to remember everything. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. I'll definitely take my notes. Definitely, and I'll actually add another group. Oh no. We'll just call this one oh yeah, I'll definitely take notes. Notes is yeah, it's like the best thing you can do for yourself. It's a reminder, because then I can always go like this and be like, no, I want to go look at this one, or I want to go look at this one. I'm looking at box model notes. Oh man. Okay. Well, god dang it. I got it freaking. It's embarrassing. I gotta use the restroom. I'll be back.